Perfect. Okay. Make sure you guys can hear me, right? Alan, Gordy, can you or Kelly? Okay, very good. All right, guys. So tonight we're going to talk about tips and insights and thoughts from this past Saturday Ihub Global ERC event in West Palm Beach. Several team members were there, and I saw a lot of you guys on the live webinar. I was cooped up in my room here, enjoying it. A lot of information from Saturday and from yesterday's meeting, if you guys attended that. So we're going to go over that. And again, why am I, Philip Cantu, hosting this? It is because if I can figure out how to change the next slide. Okay, there we go. Oh, too much. All right. Well, first, I should say, welcome to tonight's Zoom. As you already know, it's not a normal Zoom. Dale is not here. Don is not here. It's I, Philip Cantu. Normally, you would see Dale. So most likely next Thursday, it will be Dale. But right after tonight's Zoom, there's a corporate Zoom at 9 p.m. Eastern time. There is the direct link to join ihub.training/live. You don't necessarily have to register through your back office anymore. And so please jump on that. We're going to finish up tonight before that Zoom so we can go there. And congrats to everyone that have submitted their weekly progress report. If you're unaware, we at our team training website, which is cmgihubteam.com. There's a button at the bottom where you can submit your progress report to keep track and accountable of your actions throughout the week. So Dale and Don are in Kentucky celebrating Christmas with their family tonight. This is them. So this week's company report winners will be recognized directly in the Facebook group this week by Dale and Don themselves, and then publicly on next week's Zoom. Okay, and Dale wanted to share that he believed this post by Tom Tirbasso in our CMG ERC Facebook group was a genius post. As Dale says, a genius post by Tom Tirbasso. Dale recommends that everyone do a similar post tonight before or during the corporate call at 9 with a link to this video. And you can find Dale's post in the group, but this is what Tom's post in the group. This is what Tom said. So I debated whether I should post this. Statistics say that only 30% will even start this video and 3% or less will actually watch it till the end. From there, a fraction of those people will contact me with questions or want to get started ASAP. I'm posting this for those people like myself who are ready to get out of the rat race, people who are tired but motivated to change their circumstances. Watch this at your own discretion. Send me questions in Messenger. P.S. What I'm showing you here is a lifespan of approximately 1 year. So if you are a procrastinator, don't even bother. The question is this: are you ready? So that was actually, I misspoken. That was a post by Tom on his personal Facebook page, for all of his friends and family, and anyone that's connected to Tom on Facebook will see that. This video, $0 to $1 million in 40 days, is a video about the Gordy and Kelly Alderson story, which we'll hear from later today. And Dale posted the link to this YouTube video in our CMG ERC Ihub group. If you don't know the link to that group, talk to your sponsor and they will get you in that group. Okay, so without further ado, we are going to, I'm going to break the PowerPoint first as we move on. There we go. Tips, insights, and thoughts about the Ihub Global ERC event in West Palm Beach. And we're going to kick off tonight with our wonderful Dave Buchanan from Florida. Dave has always been very reliable, right? That's what we call you, Reliable Dave. So go ahead, Dave. Share with us some tips, some insights that you had from this past Saturday event.
All right. Thank you very much, Philip, and welcome everybody to the call tonight. The event over the weekend, I tell you what, was just absolutely phenomenal. As we've all heard, if you haven't gone and listened to the replay, definitely take the time to do that. But again, being there in person, there's nothing like that. But one thing that I gleaned from being there in attendance was there are a lot of new people in ERC, and most of them don't have a clue of what to do. So the fact that we have the team culture that we have a team training site. We have these calls every Thursday night in our Facebook group. If you're not plugging in, you're absolutely missing out on how to create financial income and wealth for your family. The information that they shared with us, there was some very good personal development information that was shared. And obviously we heard from the founders of Bottom Line and Ihub Global. But again, just like everything else, guys, it takes work. You can't just wave a magic wand and say, just because you want to do this, you have to put in the effort. You have to be involved in those scenarios and be around the people who are making it happen. So again, don't take for granted what we have here. There are a lot of people, and it asked how many people were new, and there were a lot of people that raised their hands. And just on sidebar conversations during lunch and breaks, talking to the people that were there, I'm telling you, they don't have a clue. They do not have a clue of really what they have their hands on. They may think they do, but they don't know how to get started. They don't know how to connect the dots. So we're very, very fortunate in the team culture that we have, the leadership that we have, and the camaraderie that we have. It doesn't matter. No side, we don't even talk about that. We don't even think about that. Everybody's here to help each other. And again, that was evident at the event. And trust me, people know who the Dale Calvert team is. So look, don't sell yourself short. Just get plugged in, focus, and fight the fear.
Perfect. Thank you, Dave. Thanks for sharing that. And yes, I love how just going to an event just proves that where we're at, not only with the company, the ERC program, and here with the CMG team, it's just a confirmation of that, right? We're all in the right place at the right time. Next, we have Kelly Alderson, who are in Texas. Kelly, could you come off of mute?
Well, thanks, Philip. We're actually in Arizona. We get a grandbaby tomorrow. Our daughter's induced, and then Saturday we're saying goodbye officially to my grandma. She passed in the summer, so we get to have her celebration of life. So a lot of emotions going on right now. We're just excited to be right here right now. Gordy said to me, he said, dang, Philip should have had you go before Dave. Dave, you did awesome. That you're feeling what I'm feeling, but I'm still going to say what I'm going to say because I think it's a little bit different. First of all, I try to absorb as much as I can and really think when people are talking, because I feel like I have to focus really hard. The older I get, the more I got to focus, but I just have always been that way anyway. But the things I got that really stood out were mindset. It just kept popping off at me, when people would say something, or Joe Bosco would talk about having a vision. I mean, all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, we've already got this as a team. We've already heard this. We've already been there, or maybe some new people are coming in and maybe it's new. But for me, it was like, it just reinforced my beliefs in who we are as a team and what Dale's created with us. And I really, that the word team really meant something big to me. Together everyone achieves more. I just feel that with this team, and I can just say, and if I forget anybody, I apologize, but I know Alan and you, Philip, and Kamala, you guys got us going on this. We were stuck. We were kind of like, Gordy was like, I can't give away anything. But anyway, so we've got something so special and so unique here that no one else has. And I was telling that to Dale, and he said, do you really, I think he said something to the effect, do you really see that? And I said, yes, we're different. Our team is different. And it stood out. We stood out different, and we're different, and in a good way. And when they started talking about the mentor program, I was like, at first I was going, okay, gosh, we don't need that. We've got what we've got. And then I started looking at it from being the mentor versus the mentee. And I'm like, oh, but we still have all of that. So then I listened to more of the training. And then afterwards, there were two guys that literally just about knocked Gordy down to get to him and ask him some questions. And long story short, they popped in to where we were all having dinner. And they were just sitting there, just asking us questions. Wow, that you guys are different. Your team is really cool. You're this, you're that. You're trained. You're just things they kept saying over and over again. And I was like, gosh, it's kind of like a broken record. Here they're just going over and over. And then it really jerked on my heartstrings in a good way. They said, man, you guys have what we want. And you guys, we really do. We really have what everybody wants. We have the whole package right now. And it's just amazing. And so that was really my biggest impact. My biggest takeaway is we don't have to listen to any noise. We have what everyone wants. So that's all I have to say. And I'm with you on that one, Dave.
Perfect. Thank you, Kelly. Yes, and I agree. I think for the most part, most of our team, we joined the corporate Zooms just for the updates, not for the training, because we have that here. Okay, thank you, Kelly. I'm not sure, is Gabe here? We wanted Gabe to go next. Let me see. I know normally he's working at this time. Okay, I see he's not here. Okay, so hopefully Gabe, who's from Virginia, will jump on later. Doug T from Georgia. Is Doug here?
I'm in the house.
Ah, yes, there you are. All right, Doug. Any tips and tricks and thoughts from this past Saturday's event?
Hey, I definitely learned a lot from those guys that the top sales guys, the young guys that got up there and just said, we made a lot of mistakes in the beginning, but we took action. We pulled doors, and the magic started happening after we started pulling doors and talking to talking to more and more people. So it was an interesting story of the guy that said that he started by just what was it he said? Oh, I got a $1 million check, and I went out and bought a sports car and a watch, and I was like, that's all you got for your money?
What would you say
was
the best sales tip?
The best tip was the guy that got up there, the young guy that got up there and said, I didn't know what I was doing, and I pulled doors, and I learned on the fly. So that was, to me, the best tip I saw that was up there on the stage. So
good. Similar to what Joe Bosco said, right? The fear doesn't exist. Just go out there, pull the doors, bless some businesses, basically.
That's right.
Perfect. Thank you, Doug.
So you can see I'm at a party as well. So that's definitely catch this meeting, though.
Thanks for joining us. Thank you for sharing that insight. All right, thank you. That was Doug T from Georgia. Next, we wanted to have Tracy Brown. Is Tracy here from Nashville? Yes, I see she's on the Zoom. Oh, there we are. Hi, Tracy.
Yes, good evening. Oh, I forgot. I keep forgetting the time difference, so I was late signing on, of course, as always. But I enjoyed the trip to Florida mainly because I get face to face with the people that started all of this, that started iHub, that worked, and that's where I enjoyed it the most. Don't get me wrong, I loved all the information that we learned from everybody, and a lot of it was repetitive, but it was good information. But I liked being able to connect it, put a name to a face, because that's the way I do things.
It's important. Are you feeling like how I'm feeling? Like the more I'm with iHub and the more I'm with Bottom Line, it's reaffirming that they are amazing. Both companies are amazing.
Yeah, I am. And I love hearing everybody's different story. I told a couple of our higher ups my story. Basically, I especially came into the ERC thing because COVID cost me my business. I lost everything because of COVID. So this was my way of being able to, I guess, come back from it.
Yeah.
To recoup that loss.
Yeah, and you can use that as your fire motivation. I know Kamala says it all the time where, if she would have had the Loop TV, the other program that we're running, her business would have still remained in business. So, you
Yeah.
use that, personal stories and everything to motivate. Let me go bless some other people while
Yeah.
also receiving my own blessing.
Of course.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.
And going along with that, Dave Johnston, are you here?
I am here.
Oh, perfect. Let's add
And-
along. You are cousins.
Yes, that's Tracy is my cousin. I am first of all, let me say this. I want to apologize to this team because when I got there, I went straight up and sat on the very front row on the right. And it occurred to me about the time that the event was over, back left. And so I want to apologize to the team, and somebody asked me why I had done that. I will tell you that. I will tell you why. In certain areas of my life before this, I was instructed, hey, always sit in the front row. Don't let anything distract you from the speaker, that kind of thing. But I will never let that happen again, because in life, you always have to pivot. There's things that come along that cause you to change your routine and pivot. And I can tell you, when we were up there speaking, anytime that somebody spoke from Dale's team, there was a loud cheer from the back left and people standing up. So my apologies to the team for that. I will not let that happen. I am going to
And just
pivot.
to give context to the people who don't know, and what Dave's talking about is everyone that's with the Dale Calvert team, when we go to live events, we always, when you walk into the room, we sit in the back left. It's just kind of a ritual and tradition. So just context there.
Yeah, that and I failed at that, but I can assure you, that will never happen again. To take away, to give you some of the things that I got from the event that happened there, it was a coming together of everybody. Dave Buchanan was there, and the encouragement that I received from the participants there. Like Tracy said, we were able to get face to face with the CEO of Ihub, the people in Ihub and the people in Bottom Line, and I can tell you, it's like Kelly was saying, what we're doing as a team, we are leaps and bounds ahead of the rest of the participants in Ihub, because Dale is already giving us those principles and the wisdom of the ages. It was confirmation that we are on the right team and we have the right vehicle. This thing is off the hook. I scheduled it was frustrating out there today because, I couldn't get anybody to sign up, so to speak. And the last place I went, they signed up.
Nice.
I booked a call. Don't ever get out. What I'd like to say is what I said from the stage up there. Go out there and get skint up. Go out there, make the mistakes. Throw a few of them in the dirt, but do not give up. Become uncommonly determined that you will not be denied. And those are things that I learned from Dale. I'm relatively new to the Dale's team, but I can tell you that these are age-old principles and they work. It's a numbers game. And I am so appreciative of the team members here. And the last thing I'll say is those people that were sitting at the table with us at dinner, it was almost heartbreaking because you could see that they were swimming around kind of lost in the haze of everything, and they needed leadership, they needed guidance, and I really didn't know what to do about that. There were a couple of people that contacted me. One guy from right here in Alabama saw the live stream and he searched me down through a variety of different things and asked me to help him. Unfortunately, he was on a different team. So, we are doing things right. Plug into this system, follow the system to the best of your ability, and don't be afraid to go out there and talk to people. And that's what I got out of it. That's it.
Perfect.
Oh, I think I'm supposed to introduce the next guy. Am I not?
Well, I think you were supposed to introduce your cousin, I believe, but then
Well, no, I have another team member that was in Florida with me.
Oh, yes,
Jill
yes,
asked me-
please introduce.
And that is Stacy Andres. He's from Nashville as well. He is a financial advisor, and he's signed up and he's been doing well. So I'd like to introduce Stacy and see what he got out of it.
There he is. Thank you, Dave. Welcome, Stacy. So yes, what did you get out? What were your thoughts and tips from this past Saturday?
Yeah, no, definitely appreciate it. Thanks for the introduction, Dave. The biggest thing that we've heard multiple times is that this is really a once in a lifetime opportunity. And the biggest thing that this isn't what I'm doing, but just what we've heard over and over again is that you just need to get started with this. I know there's a lot of people out there that probably feel that they need to have the perfect words or the perfect terminology down and everything, get started and go have those conversations. And that's not true. If you can get through the basic training and pass the test, which you should be able to do in your sleep, it's really that simple, that you have enough basic knowledge to get out there and start having a conversation. There's going to be struggles and there'll be challenges and there'll be failures, but you take those and you fail forward, you learn from those and you apply it and go, how can I do this better next door that I knock on, next door that I pull, whatever that is. But just go out there and just get started, because if you continue to let that fear hold you back, you're going to watch this opportunity pass you by. And I don't know, what is there now, 841 days or something remaining? I don't know what it was on the weekend, but it's shorter, right? It's shorter than it was last Saturday. And before you know it, the opportunity is going to be gone. And there's always going to be a coulda, shoulda, woulda. Just get out there and really just get started and get going with it. And you're going to find success. And maybe you're the person that says, this isn't me, that's not who I am. Well, determine in your mind, who do you want to be? Figure out in your mind, what kind of success do you want to have? What do you want to achieve? Since I've gotten back, I've called several friends and I've literally said, anybody in 2023 that does this business should easily be able to make $1 million at a minimum. And that's scratching the surface. So again, life-changing opportunity for those that are gonna grab the bull by the horns and run with it and just go for it. Don't let anything hold you back.
That's right. And may I ask, what was your first contact? Was it a warm market you called or a cold email you sent? Or what was your very first contact for ERC?
My first contacts for ERC were all warm market. So what's interesting though, is that the majority of the contacts that I've reached out to, and it hasn't all been warm market, but most of them have been told that they don't qualify for ERC. So literally say, hey, there's been changes under the CARES 2.0 Act. It's not the same as what it originally was. And absolutely, you probably never qualified when you first applied, but it's highly likelihood that you qualify now. There's very few companies that wouldn't qualify. So I said, have the conversation. If 5 or 10 minutes of your time, if you can't give that to find out if you're going to get 200,000 or 300,000 or $1 million back, then maybe this isn't the opportunity for you. And every single one of them has booked a call. And I've got 100% submission. Everybody that I have booked a call has signed the documents. And the ones that were told that they don't qualify, found out, well, they're going through the process now. Somehow they qualified. It looks like they're going to get money back. And had a conversation with the company yesterday. 2019, they did $40 million worth of business. 2020, they did $90 million worth of business. 2021, they're at $120 million worth of business, gross revenue. And I said, we were told that we don't qualify. But I know the CFO, and he goes, if it's worth $20,000, that's worth a 10-minute conversation to me. And they're a $120 million business. So yeah, just get out there and do it.
Good. I love it. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you for that insight. And welcome to the team.
Thank you.
And just today, speaking on that, people that don't qualify, one of my emails, I used Joe's Bosco's line where he said, your accountant is probably on page 1 of this program. Well, we're already on the 2nd book, you know? So I have a feeling though, that this person is not going to book the call because he seems a little irate, but he's just wrong. He's just wrong. Well, let's move along. Kamisha in Florida. We know you went to the event, right?
I did. It was in my backyard.
Right.
There's
Good to
no way
see.
I was gonna miss it. I live 15 minutes away from it, so
I wish I would have went.
no problem. All right. So my biggest takeaway from the event was the panel. I thought that was for me, it was very intriguing. It was good to hear everybody's different perspectives and just to see how everyone is working their business. So there's no right or wrong way to do the business. It was just fascinating to hear, how, like for instance, Dave was saying how he uses Loop and then he rolls it into ERC. So that was pretty cool to hear that. And then there were some people that were only doing ERC only, so it was just a combination of, of this and that. So we were able to take a little bit from everybody, that we can apply out there in the field as well. Also, one of the things that I noticed, I noticed how our team, when we sat in the back left, we had that camaraderie. I didn't really notice that with other teams. I didn't even notice if there were other teams there. It probably were individual people, onesies, twosies, whatever, but you could tell our team was a team as a whole. Even after the event ended, we all went up there and took a picture as a group. So I didn't see anybody else do that. Nobody else did that. So that, that spoke volumes to me. So I'm just glad I'm on this team. I really am. I really am.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's the majority of our thoughts is that, with our team and our trainings and my wonderful tech videos right now.
Yep, exactly. You're the man.
Yeah, we don't really need the tips from the corporate team. Sometimes they drop a little nugget here and there, but overall, just being with each other. Alan hosts or Dave hosts the morning Zooms if you're able to jump on, and we have these Thursday nights, sometimes other nights, and it's just, like Stacy was saying as well, just do it and we stay plugged in together and success is inevitable, right?
Exactly. Also, another thing we were waiting for, because I remember when Dale said they were going to show a video with him on the screen and they didn't do it. So we all had our top 3. We were waiting. We were sitting back there ready. We were like, all right, so we're going to throw our top 3, but we didn't get a chance to do it, but we were ready, Dale. Just so you know, Dale, we had our top 3. I just want you to know we're all ready.
Yeah, me and Dale were talking because I helped him video edit that video. So Dale created an ERC training video, which you're all going to be able to see. We're going to post it in the group and it's going to be on our training page. It's a great video, but it was supposed to be aired there live during the West Palm Beach event, but we're feeling that they replaced Dale with Omar. Was that his name?
Yeah, Omar.
Yeah, because he was also preaching on mindset. We're like, Dale got kicked out. So sorry, their loss. Omar was good too, though.
It is their loss. Omar was good. I thought he was pretty good too.
Perfect. Well, thank you again, Kamisha.
Welcome.
And and you guys can raise your hands around once we have one more person. Back to the Aldersons. Gordy, if you're still here, I like to have Gordy speak for a second. And for those of you who still don't know, go to your back office, go to the leaderboard. Gordy and Kelly are #1 in the company, and tell us why. And also, what did you get from this past Saturday?
Well, ditto's about everything everybody said on the team, but up on that panel, there was a guy to the right of Kelly, and his name is Chris Evans or something like that. I haven't watched it back, but watch that guy because he's pulling on door handles and he's sharp. and he's got like 30 calls, but he's got like, he's got a way higher percent. He's got a very high percentage of calls that are going through the process. And he talked about building a relationship with the business owner right then. So we have a tremendous warm market. If you don't, that guy's not, he's not doing warm market stuff. He's pulling on door handles. So watch what he says. I haven't had a chance to watch it back. I got his number. I'm going to be visiting with him. But as far as pulling on door handles, he's got a gem. And also, you know, back to the team deal, we wouldn't be where we are without the team, without the videos, without the culture. I mean, you know, like I keep telling Alan, you know, after the first day, I had 7 people to follow up with, and he said, man, you got to book the call. Another good tip, use this one. I used it probably 4 or 5 times today, booking calls. And because they're going to mention something about their accountant or they're liable to say, yeah, that's interesting, because 30% of bottom line's clientele are accountants. So that's going to plant that seed in their head. Gosh dang, if accountants are using them, you know, and I also say to them, you know, hey, look, do you think McDonald's and Chase Banks and the New York Yankees have crappy accountants? Well, no. Then why do they use Loop? You think, I mean, why do they use bottom line? And the Joe Bosco deal, you know, that guy ran out of warm market a long time ago. He talks about referrals. He's a smooth guy, and he's figured out how to have a conversation. For some of you that weren't there and didn't see it, a waiter, I thought this was brilliant. He said he'll tell a waiter, say, hey, do you run this joint? What's the first thing they say? No, I'm not the owner. Bill Smith is. So now you got the owner's name. He volunteers it. You don't have to say who's the owner. Say, I'd love to talk to Bill to tell him how great the service is. You get old Bill over there and you start talking about ERC. And thinking about Joe as well, you know, would we trade? I mean, Joe's this brilliant guy and all. He motivates me because I'm like, if that guy can do it, I'm going to kill this thing. No offense, Joe Bosco. But would we trade Dale Calvert for Joe Bosco? I don't think so. Real quick, we drove out here to Tucson yesterday, and I mean, hammered the phone for hours and hours and hours and only booked 1 call and felt like we weren't getting anywhere. And then had a guy call me this morning, offer referral, when I talked to a guy at like 11 o'clock last night on the side of the road, who I met coming into town to deliver him some bits and spurs. He called me, booked the call, and then jumped in the car. And I think we got another call from somebody else. But all the stuff we did yesterday, as far as referrals, etc. So I jumped in the car to drive to town, and I got about as I was getting on the interstate, I'd set an alarm to call this woman back, called her on the side of the interstate, booked the call, drove down the road. I got down the road about another mile. Phone starts ringing. I look, I'm like, oh gosh, that's so-and-so. Pull the car off on the side of the interstate, book another call. And another guy called me off a referral that he called while I was booking the second call. So I stayed on the side of the interstate, called him back and booked that call, and then booked 1 more call. So we booked 5 calls today before noon, and it was all off. It's 5. And I've struggled at the referral deal, but have been very persistent. And the more you do stuff, the better you get at it. You suck, but you get better. So we booked 5 calls this morning off of referrals from all the work we did yesterday driving out here on that phone for a long time. And I was getting tired and I just wanted to listen to the radio, whatever.
Yeah. After 14 hours, I was like, we got to take a break.
Yeah, we got to take a break. But nothing, hardly any of that paid off yesterday, but it paid off today in referrals. And I had one other thing. This is key. And Dale said this on the video he did, the video of going to $1 million. Remember this phrase, I used it 5 times today. How many W-2s you got? And they say 10. Say, okay, you know, you've got about, I just do 10 times 10. That's 100,000. And I knock off 20%. I said, you know, you've probably got about $80,000 sitting in a fund for you that you have already paid for, that is waiting. It's your money and it's waiting for you to claim it. That to me is a powerful, and I used it 5 times today and booked 5 calls. That is a powerful phrase. You have X amount of dollars sitting in a fund for you that's been allocated back to your business. And one other thing I'll say is, like, look, pretend you overpaid your quarterly taxes. but they weren't going to call you and tell you that you had to call in and claim your quarterly. So that money is sitting there. It's yours. It's waiting for you to claim it. And that phrase right there resonates with people. And then I always say, man, I hope they offer you a contract. They don't want to waste your time, but they definitely don't want to waste theirs. So I hope they offer you a contract, because I want them thinking, man, I hope they offer me a contract. Anyways, that's the takeaway I got, is basically that guy to the right of Kelly is he's pulling on door handles. He's killing it. And Joe Bosco's working referrals. And today we got 5. Stay in the referral deal, because if you can work the referrals, you don't need a big warm market. You can expand on that market. Once you pull on those door handles and you get those business owners, you start working those referrals. So you can I thought our business was going to slow down and die off when our warm market ran out. It's not. It gets bigger all the time. Referrals, referrals, referrals. So get good at them.
And you see it with Luke, you see it with Gabe. We were talking with Gabe. I mean, referral, he's getting referrals.
Yeah, it's referrals
happening.
and referrals. Yeah, in whatever business, whatever format. And once these businesses that we put in that are gonna get paid, once they start getting paid, I'm gonna go back to the top and I'm gonna say, look, you just received $1 million. You know anybody else that would be opposed to getting $1 million? Off we go. Okay,
Perfect.
guys.
Thank you so much, Gordy. All right, everyone. These are the people that we lined up to speak for tonight. Before we're going to go into question and answers and maybe some more overview, but Bill didn't ask me to do this, but I thought it'd be a good idea that I'm going to just, for those of you who did not attend last night's was it last night? Yeah. Was it? No, Tuesday night's corporate update on ERC. I wanted to share real quick my the back office of ERC, and just a quick overview of the updates. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Okay, good. But first of all, I should say, I spoke to my downline after Tuesday night's update, and he was like, man, it was a lot. There was so much updated. And the bottom line I told him was like, look, what we're doing already is working. Where we got in the emails and we're applying, we don't have to change anything. There's a lot of tools and updates in here that can bog you down, and you can get distracted. Oh, I have to learn this, I have to learn that, I have to learn. No, you don't. Just go out there, talk to people, whether it's cold market or warm market. But anyways, when you're in your back office, they added this, they changed this first tab here, leads and referrals. So obviously you're going to see your quick little update here, and they've added a tab called prospects. This is basically an Excel sheet without you having to use your own Google Drive or your own Excel on the computer, which is kind of nice because, you can log into your ERC account on any computer in the world, right? And you just go over here and add a new prospect, like, oh, I know, Bob Smith, I'm going to add Bob Smith in here and just some information. And this does not book a call or nothing, guys. It's just for you to keep track of people you want to contact that haven't booked a call. And then obviously, once they book the call, they're going to move to here to the referrals. So this has always been here, your referrals, right? But the prospects is a new tab. One thing that Dale also just put a video in our Facebook group here in your referrals. If you have a business that, meeting happened, but, it's already passed in, but there's no update on that. I already know what's going on with them. But, some people that were, well, anyways, what I'm trying to show you is that if you see a little calendar here that's blue, it's clickable. Right here, this is green. It's not clickable. And this one is blue. It's clickable. So if I click that, I can rebook the call myself. Right. So if I talk to the owner of that mechanic shop and he says, oh, yeah, we need to have another call. Yes, he has the emails. Yes, he can, Jim here, he can book the call himself, but maybe he lost the email and the business owners get their emails. I can just rebook it for him. So and Dale pointed that out, and I wanted to just repoint that out. The next update was my task. And now I kind of really like this. So here's just going to show all the people that that I can follow up on and I can just says, this one says, I have 2 tasks that are follow up. If I click on here, it'll say, hey, Jim and Jennifer, I need to follow up. They're in an open status. And well, what do I need to do with them? Maybe I can just click here where it says view task. And Well, actually, I haven't done this before, guys. So again, don't get bogged down about this. This is just something, nice to segregate as you get more and more leads. These are people that they had a call, but nothing continued. The agreement was not sent. And these are the people that the agreement was sent, but it wasn't signed. And this is the people who signed the agreement. Now they're in the questionnaire, and then and so on and so forth. And I think that's it. Oh, the other main big part here is commissions. What you want to do? Oh, I don't know what happened there. See that, try again. All right, well, maybe they're updating it before the corporate call, but before that, there was a place for you to put your tax information, and they're updating it so you can do ACH. And like the Aldersons can tell you already, once you have your deal approved by the IRS, the most exciting thing for me was they're going to start paying the $500 bonus weekly every Friday. And I believe they said they're starting that in January. So theoretically, they didn't give us a date. Maybe we'll find out tonight. Maybe that first payment of $500 or $1,000, however much you've earned, will be that Friday, January the 6th. We'll find out. But all right, guys, that's it for tonight. Let's go over questions. Gino, what you got?
Yeah, I sent the message to Chuck and Eric on Tuesday night to have the capability of importing Excel into the leads. And he kind of responded that that should be coming out, and he's working on that. I don't know if they'll interface easily, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have Excel leads already and whatnot. I just want to thank, this group. You guys are inspiring. Gordy, I mean, that one saying that Gordy's out of the picture. He's in probably booking a call. But that one phrase that he said, would you be opposed to doing business with people that do business with you? And I kind of modified it. Would you be opposed to figuring out, how this works, how it applies to you, and getting this money that you've paid for already? And it's like a refund for you, kind of hybrid that with, like, this is tax money that's owed to you. Would you make a call if they forgot to tell you? So would you be opposed really works. I've booked 3 different calls with that verbiage because it does psychologically work. Last thing I want to say, and it was regarding Kamisha. She was talking about like Loop TV. I today had 2 Loop appointments, and one guy was helping me like plug in the Loop players, and he's climbing the ladder and stuff like that. When he gets done, he looks at me and goes, "Holy cow." He goes, "You want something to eat?" And it was cool, man. He offered me free dinner and whatnot. And, we had a little food and broke a little bread. And, he's got an ERC claim going with this. And we talked about what he's going to do with the money. So just building relationships there. And, if you can have them climb the ladder and plug it in, man, more the better, right? I'm the brains, you're the bronze. So anyways, I did that. And then I had another meeting with Loop TV, and I have the tablet, and I have like a little presentation book. And by the time I'm done talking about the value of the entertaining, engaging, interactive signage and stuff like that, and how it all works together, he's like, "Man, this is amazing." He's offering me free cards to play his video games. He's got, it's half bar, it's got a ton of video games. And so it's very impressive when you do this combination of Loop TV and build that value, because ERC is like right around the corner for this guy. So just thought I would share that. One last thing I want to share is, has anybody been having issues with, like, if you book a 1 p.m. call, but they don't make the call until like 1:15, 1:20? My friend and I, who does the business with me, were thinking maybe we should like up front tell people sometimes the call, ERC or bottom line is busy, and sometimes the call goes a little bit longer. So expect the call between 1 and 1:30 or some verbiage like that. You might not want to tell them every time it's going to be right on time.
I haven't had that experience. I don't know if anyone else has heard about a call coming in late.
Anybody else booked a call?
They discussed that on one of the corporate calls, and
Okay.
they said that, sometimes things do happen. They may get hung up just a little bit longer than normal, or perhaps the person doing the call, didn't get in, was sick that day or something. So things do happen. I try and stay on top of it. I give a 10-minute reminder for all of our calls. And then I do try and go in sometime shortly after that to see if the call happened, and then follow up, shoot a text.
I was getting live texts from my customers saying, hey, it's 1:15, the call hasn't came in yet. I'm like, oh, okay. So I called up Bottom Line and talked to the receptionist, and she transferred me over to the person who was responsible for that. And I left a voicemail, but right after that, then he texted me, all right, she just called. And it was like 1:20, and the call was supposed to be 1 p.m. So I'm just thinking,
oh, okay.
we should definitely say, hey, if it's not, they're very busy there, they're dealing with a lot of stuff and people have questions. So if the call goes over, then just expect it between this time and this time. It's kind of helps your situation.
That's good. That's a good tip. Yeah, and I agree. And at the same time, I think we're all pretty impressed with the Bottom Line. I think it was Vicky. I'm not sure if Vicky's here tonight. She had a client that wanted, a big employer, several hundred W-2s. They wanted a Zoom call, and I was like, I don't know, but hey, call Bottom Line and see what they can do. And they booked it. They booked a Zoom call for the business. Now, definitely don't offer that. Don't put it out there. But, that it's a big money for them and it's good money for us. So why not? Right. All right.
Thanks for that line of would you be opposed? Because I got calls and I got a date out of it. So you're awesome, Gordy. Thank you.
Gordy is awesome. And bring in Marilyn, go ahead. But before Marilyn, hold on. I want to share that, myself, I'm out of the US. I'm in Mexico. Marilyn's in Canada. We have Michael Clark and Costa Rica, and we're doing it, guys. So no excuses. I don't have a warm market. Well, I don't think I have a warm market. To be honest, I just spoke to Gordy the other day. I need to go through my own contact list on my cell phone, but I've done 100% cold market, or except one, my brother's mechanic shop. But besides that, no excuses, guys. Marilyn?
Okay, I just wanted to mention, talking about that, is that I tried to put in my information for the commission, and of course, trying to put in my province, there was no such thing. So anyway, I put in a ticket and they said they were working on that. So for the out of the US people, they'll be accommodating. And I have a question. When do you actually, you get your task, when do you actually say the task is completed? Like, for example, documents are being collected. Do you have to wait until they actually collected before you say the task is completed, or?
Well, okay. Well, I don't know if anyone else has done this. I haven't experienced using the task yet, but from what I saw on Tuesday night from Eric, is that you can put in there like completed, like you talk to your person gathering the docs, but I don't think it's going to remove itself from the task area until that person has done it. So in the end, it still lies on the business owner's side. I don't know, Dave, were you going to comment on that, or?
Yeah, I was going to comment on that. The tasks. Now, I spoke with Jason Ben Bassett, and those tasks are strictly for us as an iHub team. They really don't know anything about that. What they're getting is real-time updates. And if something goes past a certain time frame, then that will pop up in your task, and that's prompting you to call them or do whatever that task is. And when you mark it complete, the task is complete. But like Philip said, it will not remove itself from that until the client and Bottom Line move it forward into the next phase. But you have actually completed your task that it was prompting you to do.
So you don't need to keep calling them, right?
Well, yeah, in the end, I think it's just a reminder and to help, segment your leads. It's not, you never have to use the task ever. You never have to touch it once. So that's why I was trying to tell people, don't get bogged down about all these tools and things, because you can do it pen, paper, and phone all day, every day, and make $1 million, $2 million. You don't need any of this tech stuff. They're just nice tools. If you can work them, great. If you can't, great. Just roll on.
And
Hey,
the rule of
Marilyn,
thumb, the rule of thumb, Marilyn, is always 80-20. The 20% of the time work on a task, 80% of the time fill your pipeline.
And there's also what Eric was giving an example of, say your task is, they haven't signed their agreement yet. You can send them a text reminder, or you can call them. We always try and call, or you can email them. And if they email you back and, oh gosh, I forgot about that, I'll do it. I'm going to do it next week. I'm with family, whatever. So you can go in there and make notes that you called them on the 15th of December. They're going to go in on the 17th when they get back on vacation. I wouldn't mark that task complete until, I saw in my back office under referrals that they were complete and moved to the next step. But that's just me. But, just kind of as a reminder, I really like the task page that they have put up, because it's a game changer for follow-up. I think it really will keep you in the loop with all that.
Yeah, that's a good point. I like the notes. All right, and Shelley, let's go ahead and top her off with Miss Giddings.
Thank you. The tasks, I'm with Kelly. I love it. However, mine have gone away when I've completed them.
Oh, okay.
They don't show up anymore. So except for the rebook calls, for some reason, those are still there. But I had some tasks in some other areas, and as soon as I completed them, they went away. So
maybe what Kelly was saying, maybe better to just not put I completed and just kind of type your
Yeah,
notes.
the way I understood it from the training, and of course, I could be wrong, but I thought, like, until that task is complete, don't mark it complete, because it'll sit there as a reminder. Now, you do need to check, but if a couple days have gone by and you look under your referrals and see that business is still not signed those documents, say that's what we're waiting on, then go back ahead and say, hey, you were supposed to sign that document on the 17th and it's now the 19th, are we stuck, or is there anything I can do? That's the best thing. Our biggest, we just say, is there anything I can do to help you?
that's what I always say too. Yeah.
So I wouldn't mark it complete and unless they're going to sign it or something. I like to have that reminder. It's just, for me, the task page has been a big help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, when you have 100+ in your pipeline, yeah.
I'm not even able to keep up with the booking calls today. It was a little, but it was a good problem. I can tell you that much.
And I will say, guys, before we go to Michael, that I have yet to find a fault on bottom line's end, because I had one person in gathering document stage for a while. He texted me, he's like, I submitted all the documents, and I was like, oh great, I submitted my support ticket to Ihub. Hey, this has been on gathering docs for a while, and Ihub said, oh, it's slowly updating over the weekend. And then I let the whole week pass by without doing anything. It was still stuck there. And then so I just called bottom line and I had to leave a voicemail with the project manager. She called back, and yeah, he submitted all the documents, but one of them was just completely wrong. It was just wrong. And they've been contacting him like, hey, you got to do this. And then so she sent the email again, CC'd me in it. And yeah, his 941 forms were incorrect. And he told me, he's, oh, because our payroll didn't start until mid-2020 or something like that, and we don't have all the quarters. And I just text them, hopefully encouraging them, like, hey, that's great, man, no problem, submit what you have. You don't have to have all 6 quarters to get ERC. And he said, okay, great. So hopefully we'll get to documents being reviewed.
Philip, I have found one fault. There's one thing I would like for them to change. And if anybody, and I think it's going to be Eric, that's going to have to change it. So if any of you have Eric's phone number, give him a call. When we're filling out the form, we're with their name and their email and their phone number and the W-2s, there's nowhere to put an extension number.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that. Yes.
And I've had one person who they kept missing because they said they couldn't get a hold of her because it was an operator answering. And so we need a place on that form to put an extension.
Yeah, that would be good.
So,
I know, of course, put it in the
if any
note.
of you know Eric, give him a call.
Kelly.
Yeah, we'll be on. I'll put a little note out there.
Thank you.
All right, Michael Clark, and then we're going to jump onto the Ihub corporate call.
Okay, thanks. Man, I sure did enjoy the guys down there. My question is, I finally got back to Costa Rica. It took me over a week in travel, but the Apollo program, is that what most everyone is using? I know there's a couple out there. I
Let's
just
see,
want to get a
raise
little
your hand
feedback.
if you're using Apollo, anyone? Okay, we got maybe about half that have their screens on.
Okay,
It-
so
it is a good
everybody
program.
feels good.
Okay, good.
Apollo's good. Okay. That was my biggest question. I'm gonna get plugged in this week. Next week.
All right, guys, before we hop off, speaking of Apollo, and I like what, Gordy, what you said on stage there on Saturday, how you and Kelly start your day off with appreciation and thankfulness and maybe putting God first. And I know a lot of us are, we're Christians, maybe not everyone, but I think it is important. Mindset is everything, right? Whether we're attracting things and believing things and visualizing your future, it's extremely important. I really believe that. And it's just, you don't know what's going to happen. My have a downline. He's here in Mexico. He's back and forth between the US, but he's a Mexican citizen. I helped him set up Apollo. And in 1 week, he had 2 replies. One of them was a weird question and probably lost that one. But the other one was a 250 W-2 employee. And they're booked and called for next week. And I'm like, wow, like I haven't even gotten that big, so everyone experience is different, but we stay plugged in and keep the faith, right? And work. And I really love what Joe Bosco said on stage. Work your tushy off. What I tell my people that are like here in Mexico that are working tremendously a lot is like, hey, let me help you set up Apollo. You spend 15 minutes a night adding new emails, and then maybe 30 minutes on your lunch break, replying to things. At the very least, you're going to make a few grand, right? At the very least. But if you can work your butt off, you're a millionaire. Say hello to the Aldersons in 40 days. All right, guys. Happy you guys joined us tonight. Jump in on the corporate call, ihub.trainings/live. ihub.training/live. See you guys there.
Good job,
Good
Philip.
night.
Great job, Philip.
Great
Great job,
job, Phil.
everyone.
Thank you.
Good.
Thanks, everybody.
See you guys. See you on the corporate.
Bye.
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 Way to go, Philip. Good job, buddy.
Thank you.